Hey guys, Slimber here, and oh god, my fucking hair is fucked up. I know how to fix my hair with racism. Racism only made my hair worse. Let's try this thing. Well, shit, guys, I shaved, and now I'm using the green screen, and I'm using, I guess, a better webcam. This webcam's kind of a piece of shit. It's old, but it's better than the default webcam in my laptop. Nonetheless, let's get right into this video. I'm making fun of Milo Yiannopoulos. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Now, there's a few things I wanted to go over. First video I want to go over is his video called Why the Left Celebrates Ugliness. We can get right into that right now.
Culture is being uglified. And perhaps because the left is giving up on beauty, there's an opening for the right. There's an opportunity.
I don't think the left, or matter of fact, I don't even think the right, really give a shit about beauty, because beauty is a fucking subjective thing. What does beauty have to do with a political ideology?
For the right. Have you noticed that too? That sort of over the last... It's really been happening for 30 years, but I think it's accelerated in the last 10, and it's accelerated perhaps because that rejection of beauty and celebration of ugliness has moved from the art world into politics and journalism, and now onto the pages of fashion magazines too.
No, I think it's because they're normal fucking people, and they're not like you, and they're not like narcissists, and they don't fucking care. I think it's that simple.
Even the fashion world is now celebrating women who don't look like women, men who don't look like men, people who are not beautiful. Because of course there are objective beauty standards, as every cognitive, behavioral whatever knows. We all know there are objective beauty standards. Have you noticed this drift from beauty and toward transgressive ugliness for its own sake in the left? Do you think that's got something to do with why the right is reclaiming prettiness?
Fam, with somebody like Sarah Huckabee Sanders in the right, or fucking Steve Bannon, I don't think the right wing are fucking reclaiming prettiness. Not to say the left don't have some ugly people. Look at John Kerry. He looks like that fucking news reporter Muppet. But I'm just saying, you got some ugly motherfuckers too in the right. You're not exactly great looking yourself, Milo.
Outstanding. You gave an outstanding exegesis of the postmodern, the aesthetic, and the spiritual components of it. And then I'll bring it down to the mindset and psychology of it. We all know now, and Facebook has banned before and after photos.
Since fucking when did they ban before and after photos? I've seen them on my timeline literally this week. They haven't banned before and after photos from Facebook? What the fuck are you talking about?
Right?
Yes.
Like the fat shame.
Yes. Because because improving yourself toward a traditional immutable, conventional beauty standard is seen as in some way discriminatory against, who knows, ugly and fat people.
I can tell you that I don't think 99% of this world believes that fucking improving yourself is fat shaming or ugly shaming. I don't know if that's a word. I don't think... Actually, I could say probably at least 99.9% of people do not believe that. Because... that's just fucking retarded.
Right, so you can't post on Facebook, hey, here's me fat, here's me fit. Why don't you just get fit? Because psychologically, we've taught people that whatever your lot in life is, isn't your fault, it's society's fault.
Literally, provide me proof as to when Facebook made this rule. Because I've seen people do this, like, recently, after this video came out. I've seen people do this.
Everybody's shaming you. Everybody has to tolerate you. And moreover, it's a great solipsism where everything is about you. So if you see an image that says get a bikini body, that is about you, and that's calling you fat. Even though you and I and most of people listening would say, well, that would be insane.
To be honest, I think believing anything this guy just said, after he said Facebook bans you for posting before and after photos, I think believing anything he said after that would be insane. Anyways, The next video I wanted to do on him was, I guess, called "Fat People Are Getting More Stupid." Let's watch this.
Fat studies updates, my favorite subject at college, my favorite subject at college campuses.
That's your favorite subject? Like, okay, like, that's your favorite thing, man. That's cool and all, but it just seems weird to me. It just seems really, 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 really weird to me. But, alright, buddy.
Turns out fat people are becoming more stupid. Not because there's some sort of hormonal effect on how their brains work, although probably that too.
Probably that too. Doesn't provide any sort of evidence. That's the thing about Milo, is I think he just believes anything that just pops in his mind without ever thinking about it or looking for evidence.
Fat people become more stupid because Classroom Furniture claims a new... And this, we're going to do it again. We did it yesterday. There is a journal... Let me just explain. There is a journal called Fat Studies. And I'm a subscriber to Fat Studies. It's $75 a year.
Does anybody else think that is weird? Am I the only person that thinks that is weird? Please let me know in the comments. Is that weird to you too? Because that seems weird. You're paying $75 a year for Fat Studies? What the fuck?
And if you have any spare cash, I encourage you to do two things. One, subscribe to this show, dangerous.com/join. And two, get yourself a digital subscription to Fat Studies. And you will, between the Milo Show and Fat Studies, have every possible bit of entertainment you could ever possibly want. Fat Studies.
Alright, buddy, this is starting to sound like an ad for Fat Studies.
Has released a new peer-reviewed article in its academic journal. And you can go online and you can find out. You can subscribe to this thing. It's one of those. It's not widely, but it's one of those academic publishers. Just you Google for Fat Studies, you'll find it.
For $9.99, you can get Fat Studies for a month. Or sorry, $75 a year. Fat Studies. Come on, buy it. Come on. Like, little did we know he's getting like paid to fucking promote this.
A new peer-reviewed article, which says, in Fat Studies, which describes itself as an interdisciplinary journal of body weight and society, it's called "There's Always Stomach on the Table, and Then I Gotta Write: Physical Space and Learning in Fat College Women."
Well, that's not a very catchy headline.
And the abstract of this study says that dominant obesity discourse research shows a strong correlation between fatness and poor academic outcomes among fat female learners at the post-secondary level. Little attention has been paid to understanding the experiences of fat female learners from their own perspective. Interviews with 13 undergraduate women suggest that fat college women students experience the interactions of their fat bodies with the physical learning environment negatively.
You interviewed 13 people, and they turned out to be dumbasses. Oh, what a shock. 13 and like a million fucking people are going to be fucking stupid. Really? I guarantee if you just interviewed random 13 people on that campus who weren't fat, you're gonna find a bunch of stupid fucking people too. And sorry, I just switched my fucking webcam. My other webcam's a piece of shit, and it keeps fucking unplugging.
Classroom design and furniture contribute to fat women learners experiencing themselves as judged, devalued bodies, and incapable learners. Nothing whatsoever, I'm sure, to do with the fact you're falling behind in college if you have no discipline about what you eat.
Not all fat people are fat because of what they eat. Some people are just naturally like that. Now, I will admit, I don't think people are like naturally like, I don't know, 900 fucking pounds or something like that, but nonetheless, not all people are fat because they just eat whatever the fuck they want.
And no discipline about your physical exertions and activity. Now look, I put on a bit of weight after I got married. I put on a bit of weight after Christmas. I'm about the heaviest I've ever been. But I've ordered a daily food delivery service to keep my calories down to about 1,600. And yesterday I was on the running machine, did 300-400 calories run, keeping myself in a nice healthy deficit so I can lose that weight within a couple of months.
Wow, Milo, did you say that costed you money? I'm just saying, not everybody can afford to go to the gym. I mean, sure, everybody could go for a walk and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, with what you're advising, not everybody can afford that.
What I'm not is obese.
Says you fat bitch. No, I'm playing. I mean, he doesn't look obese.
And if you thank you, commenters. If you look at the lack of self-control and the delusion that is required to get that big. Do you think that might have something to do with your inability to get good grades at school rather than the layout of the chairs and the tables?
So once again, not all fat people are fat because they don't exercise or don't eat. Some people are just naturally kind of fat. However, let's also add that if they don't care, I doubt they're going to be like, oh, the tables make it so I can't fucking do my schoolwork because they're not putting effort into their shit or whatever. I don't think that's the case. I don't think somebody who doesn't care about their grades is gonna fucking find a reason to bitch about it. They're just gonna not care. I'm somebody who doesn't give a shit about their grades when I was in school. I just didn't care. Didn't find an excuse. I just didn't give a shit.
I mean, this is the worst kind of like, this is like victim blaming, you know. This is what the fat people inflict on us. You know, we're expected to see their vast, quivering, corpulent forms everywhere we go.
Why do you care, Milo? Well, why? Why do you care that much? Why? It's like, yeah, fat people exist. Who gives a shit? They're not hurting you. As long as they're not like, oh, don't put that exercise thing in my Subway. Like, I don't give a shit. Why do you give a shit?
And they're just sort of quivering and jelly-like and hideous. They sit down, they're spilling out onto the tables. I mean, my God, everyone else in the room must be like holding down, they're picking sick out of the keyboard, holding down their bile.
No, Milo, I bet the rest of the world doesn't give a shit because they're not retarded like you.
And no, the fat person is the victim because they apparently feel like everyone's looking at them. Of course everyone's looking at you. You're disgusting.
All right. I mean, at least here in America, it's normal. It's just something you see every day. Is it really that rare where, I think, the UK is where Milo lives? Is it really that rare there? Somebody in the UK, let me know in the comments. Is it really that fucking rare that it is that much of a fucking sight as he is describing? Is it like... What the fuck?
This is the sort of high-quality, peer-reviewed study that the left is putting out. And you know it's garbage because they admit themselves the sample size is 13. 13 people. And it wasn't even a study. It was just a survey. They just asked them some questions. I'd love to see the questions they asked them. The study contains an entreaty to educators to create fat-positive classrooms and eliminate stigmatizing messages that privilege thinness and oppress fatness because... Oh, yeah, what we should really be doing is encouraging everybody to die sooner and kill themselves.
Hell yeah, that'll stop climate change.
And the recommendations in this study include... I mean, I'm getting angry about it because it is awful, and it's horrible, and it is mean and sociopathic and cruel and just terrifying to me that people who purport to...
I think the only thing mean about this is the shit you're saying.
You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
He looks like he's having a fucking anxiety attack over this. Like, what the fuck?
That have this, like, delusion of being, you know, academics or serious thinkers are encouraging other vulnerable, normally, by the way, less socioeconomically privileged women to kill themselves and die sooner. And by the way, the Daily Beast, the reason I know I'm right about this, even the Daily Beast noticed this about 5 years ago. They said that these fat studies courses are taught in colleges where there are basically no fat people. They're taught in elitist, expensive, liberal arts colleges where everybody taking the course is thin.
Fat guy walks in. I'd like to join the fat studies thing. I'd like to... Fucking anorexic person. No, you can't join us. Fuck you. You can't join us. At this point, I'm just mocking him, because what he is saying is so fucking ridiculous. Look out, guys. Milo might be the fat guy strangler.
So what we have is a perfect example of hectoring rich white liberal lunatics basically telling poor people, get fat, it's fine, you're beautiful and healthy at any size, when they're not. Driving them into diabetes, polycystic ovary syndrome, heart attacks, early death. The people actually putting this stuff out, this awful fat studies bilge, which is really, it is funny. But the people putting this stuff out are not fat people looking for answers or looking for help, on the whole. You get the occasional kind of, like, teaching assistant or Trigglypuff.
So now I'm a bit lost because it looks like he changed his position midway through this fucking video. And I'm trying to figure out where exactly... Oh, God, my fucking hair. But, yo, I'm trying to figure out, like, what... It's so fucking unorganized. I'm gonna quit with this part of the video, and I'm gonna move on to this next part. Where... Now, I wasn't originally going to do this, because I feel like I gotta do this seriously, because I'm gonna look like a fucking asshole if I... If I don't do this right. But basically, Milo was sexually assaulted when he was younger, and it seems like he switched his positions on that a couple times. At some point, he'll be like, yeah, I was sexually assaulted, and then he'll try to justify it, which is fucked up, but I guess he's... I don't know exactly how to feel, but yeah, he kind of tries to justify it, and here.
As far as what is right and what is wrong. With you? No, I got lucky. They beat me a little bit.
What do you mean you got lucky?
Me a
you
little
got
bit.
unlucky. You didn't get that taste of... no, I said, like I said earlier, if it weren't for Father Michael, I would have given far less good head. I mean,
there was a real...
So right here, he basically says Joe Rogan was unlucky because he didn't get raped as a kid, pretty much. And then says he learned to give good head because he got raped as a kid. It gets worse, believe me.
Father Michael?
So much less... You know, he's going to get killed now, but...
He should! He fucked a kid! He should get crucified for this! What the fuck?
Who was Father Michael?
I'm not... No, I bet...
Was a real dude?
I shouldn't...
Maybe suck his dick? For real?
Don't make me. I was quite enthusiastic about it. I fucked my English teacher too. But
How old was he at the time?
I don't know. He's quite young, quite hot. You're disgusting!
Really?
Yeah.
And so that's where it all started? With Father Michael?
No.
Was that post the tranny?
Yeah, it was post. So I wasn't
drag
abused
queen?
as a child.
So I actually feel really bad for Milo in this video. As you can tell, he's very clearly in denial that he was sexually assaulted as a child. And he later goes on to justify it, so I'll skip over to the part where he tries to blame himself pretty much for getting raped as a kid. So let's fast forward to that.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
No.
He certainly was.
I was a very mature 14-year-old.
Yeah. Well, in your case, he got it right. He got the right guy to molest.
It wasn't molestation.
That's absolutely molestation.
It wasn't molestation. It was perfectly consensual.
I don't think it is when they're 14.
When I was 14, trust me, I was the predator. What?
And I'd like to commend Joe Rogan for the way he kind of treated that interview, because he really, like, I guess, tried to get that through Milo's head, that dude was a fucking sicko. Like, here, I'll just fucking show you guys.
Just really a fucking creep getting his dick sucked then.
Yeah, he's gonna get lynched now.
How's he gonna get lynched? Do people know who he is?
I don't think so.
What's his name?
Well, I'm not saying anymore.
Well, how old were you at the time?
Just
you were a little kid, and he was like what?
You're trying to.
Was he in his 20s or 30s?
Yet another feminist strategy that you have adopted in addition to your language
what?
policing.
Trying to out pedophiles?
No, trying to go on this.
You were the one who was anti-pedophile earlier.
I told you it wasn't the pedophilia. I was after I lost my virginity. I was in my teens. I was in my teens.
14.
I was in my teens.
Something
like that.
That's what you said. 14 is pedophilia, buddy. I don't know how they rock it in merry old England.
I was in my teens.
Over here in my country, and
fucking
where you are right now,
You've never seen a 15-year-old girl at any point in your life, however old you were, you've never seen a 15-year-old girl you thought was hot.
Yeah, when I was 15.
Now, there's another video on Milo's channel where he tries to be Christine Ford.
Hello, senators.
God damn, Milo, I knew you were gay, but I didn't know you were this fucking gay.
Look what you've done.
Anyways, guys, what do you guys think? Leave a like. Leave something in the comments to let me know what you think. Subscribe. Slimber out.